I'm Spencer. This is Sasha. Gotta skip the introduction because I got a late start today because I've been staying up. These lives. There's another one tonight. Vegas prison stories. I think around 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be on there. I get gutter. I talk a little crazy, so be forewarned. Yeah. Yeah, I say all kinds of crazy stuff. If it's Wu-Tang, I'm WDB, the white dirty bastard. I'm the ODB of the prison, these prison channels. A whole bunch of little boxes on there. And my man Simon from the UK, who has been a friend for now, he's been responding for a good long while now. He said he's going to hop on tonight. That'd be wild, man, because, you talk to somebody through messages, you actually get to speak to them. It's some wild stuff. A little bit surreal. Jay Williams been on there. He was on there for like 2 hours the other day. Couldn't believe that. But anyhow, last night my mom's 40th anniversary of her small business. A lot of old people, hadn't seen in a long time. A lot of them I couldn't stand. So, I went in the corner. But anyway, a couple interesting people. 3 very specifically interesting people. And I'm going to lead off with one of the wilder ones first. Okay, so this guy was a kid, and this drunk guy caused him problems. He popped him, boop, one time with his fist, and the guy died. Yeah, he had to go to prison. He punched a guy once, guy died. Yeah. He's somebody I could interview. Like, quick. Like, he's local, okay? The second one is my god sister, okay? Whitney Spalding, okay? Whitney was on the cover of FHM magazine. She's been in Rising Stars and Maxim. She's been in a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? She's been very successful, doing what she does in modeling. And she is one of the best people you have ever met in your life. Okay? You got any kind of preconceived notions about, models or stuff like that? Not Whitney. Whitney's the sweetest, most kind-hearted person you've ever met in your life. Husband's a cool dude. He looks like one of them people from Twilight. He's a little bit pale. You know what I mean? He looks like one of them vampires. I wonder if they got together back when that was popular. But anyway, David's a cool guy. He's a genius with the phones. He can do anything on any of them smartphones. He can reprogram, all that type of stuff. But anyway, Whitney has had addiction all through her family. Okay? Whitney also, before I had a license, was picking me up from school. Oh, yeah. That was before I started thinking like a god sister. I was like, I got a model picking me up from school. It's really before she came. She's doing some stuff, but she wasn't no, famous model then. She's like 18 or 19. And, I was like, felt special. Had this pretty girl pick me up from school. Man, she's like my dang sister. Okay? I mean, that's just what it is now. But anyhow, she knew I was selling dope. Okay? She knew it. And she's got some stories. She got some stories about me when I was 14, 15, all the way up, the crazy stuff that happened. She was around for a lot of it, because even after I had my license, I was out at that point. Never mind. Sorry, I'm behind on sleep. But anyway, she'd be a great person to talk to because she's had a lot of issues with addiction. Like, she's got some crazy stories of her own, about her own family, okay? She's not going to name any names. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. But she's had to deal with some stuff. I mean, I'm talking some wild stories, like crazy. Now, she's the sweetest girl ever, but, she had whooped somebody one time. That cracked me up hearing that story. Cause she says, I can get mean. And I'm like, I can't see it. But apparently she wore somebody out for something. So that's the second person, okay, that I could get. The third person, which I'm going to get all these people eventually. But I'm trying to see which one y'all like the most. Comment. Let me know. I'm dead ass on this. Let me know, okay? I'm wanting to get into this. I've got some interesting people ready. Now the last one, I have to wait a week for this guy, but I want to hear what y'all think. This guy's a sergeant at the Western Virginia Regional Jail getting ready to retire. He has seen more than you will believe. His wife works there too, as a nurse there. Okay? Now this guy looks like just a straight up big tough military man, His wife, You guess she was just, a hippie rocker. She's got the sleeves tattooed. And, she's the sweetest person ever. And he's a cool dude, too. But, I mean, I can guarantee, he'd be tough when he needs to be. Okay? This guy's told me just a little bit. When people get tweaked out on that speed, apparently they play in their doo-doo. Rub it on their faces. Like the football players. Or, I don't know, trying to camouflage it. I don't know what. But then they sleep it off and they're normal again. Man, I ain't never been that, Lord, playing in doo-doo. I can't. See, as prisoners, we saw a good many crazy things, right? Think about it now. You saw whatever was in your pod mainly. But the guards, whenever they hit that button, that panic button, he's a sergeant. He's got to rush. He's like a fireman. You got to run into the fire, put it out. So, at A, B, C, D, E. So, A, B, C, D, E. That's 5 ranges or 5 blocks. There's 4 pods per block. That's 50 men at the regional jail. Oh wait, they have. Yeah, I think they had an F2. They had an F2, I think. But anyway, it's a lot of people. I mean, the place holds like something like 12 to 1,600 people. And this guy sprinted to every emergency, whether it be people wiping poop on themselves, or whether it be fights, or whether it be assault on staff. He's got more stories, and he's getting ready to retire. I told him, man, this guy's cool though, okay? You can't just dislike all police and all COs, and all that, and just say they're all bad. They're not all bad, okay? I mean, if you think that, you're just an ignorant idiot. If you're on the phone with your mom and she's 2 states over, and a man comes in, he starts assaulting her, yeah, like that, like she's getting ready to get got. Who you gonna call? Ain't that snitching? You're gonna call the damn police. Damn, yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, there's issues with them, and the main thing is they're just undertrained. Okay, I had no clue how little they were trained in just how to restrain people until they started showing up to train at jiu-jitsu and judo. And despite my history, there has been a couple of them that have come in that have been, I could tell they're good-natured, and I've worked with them as best as I can to teach them how to, effectively put somebody down and hold them safely. Nobody ever, nobody isn't with us today from a judo pin, from like Kesagatami, scarf hold. People aren't with us because, these untrained idiots like putting a knee somewhere where it don't belong. Oh, they're pitiful with grappling. And I mean, what is police work? Police work's grappling. You got to get a hold of the person. You got to put them down. And you got to, control them. I mean, once it gets to ground jiu-jitsu, number one, once it's on the ground. But judo's about how to put people down there. And a 20-second pin is a win in judo. And Tarek, he competed in Sambo overseas, You see how that's going. That's the interesting fight though this weekend. Oliveira versus Makachev. I'm excited about that. And Peter Yan versus O'Malley. I would normally just have Yan at the water, but I believe it's a 3-round fight. And because it's a 3-round fight, I don't know what's going to happen. Yan's he's a slow starter. He rarely ever wins the first round. He does here and there, but like he usually just takes the first round and gets his reads. He's a counter striker. So with only 3 rounds, I mean, O'Malley has a chance in that one because it's 3 rounds. 5 rounds, gone. Yawn. That little stone Russian bad mother. Peter Yan, as a bad dude, man. I mean, you watch him striking, watch him versus Uriah Faber. Oh, man, I watched him that and I was like, man, that guy's gonna be that's gonna be the champion. I mean, he smashed him. But I think he's only a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, which, Aljamain Sterling's got good grappling. He faked that knee. But anyway, I ain't going to talk too much more about that. Some good fights this weekend's my point. Now, the cops that weren't any good, they showed up at judo. I talked to them beforehand. Let them know my past. Let them know I've been off heroin since April 9, 2010. I get a read. I see if they're judging me. And then once I put the uniform on, I put my brown belt on, and they say, I'm up at the top of the line in rank. But they've already, decided they're gonna, give me a chance, or they decided they're not gonna make eye contact, make little smirks and stuff. And those are the same ones that when it comes time to spar, grapple. In judo, the sparring, we usually just do it like jiu-jitsu rounds is what we do sparring. We do stand-up sparring too, but it's usually people, that have been training for a minute. Because, it's a little less forgiving when you get, when your whole body comes off the ground about 3-4 foot, even 5 foot, and pop. Yeah. Especially for somebody new, that'll keep somebody from coming back. And it sounds funny, but there's an art to falling. If you know how to fall correctly, you hurt less the next day. I feel like I've been in a car wreck every day for my first 3 months. The longer I've trained, the less the impact. You tuck your chin, your feet go straight up, hands go out at a 45-degree angle, and you smack the ground. You never fall with your wrist like this. That's how people fall like this. Man, that's more people break their wrist. Anytime you're falling, that don't get bent. If it's a side fall, hands go to the side. If it's a back fall, they go at a 45-degree angle and slap. And you don't hurt. You can absorb a big throw. Even pretty good on, less forgiving surfaces if you have good break falls. But once we were on the ground, there's a couple different ones. One particular, he's like a psych ward CA, and he's just a frick. He's one of those people who, the instructor, Tark's an Olympian, okay? He's an Olympian. Dylan, okay? Dylan, our youngin' national champion, beat Travis Stevens' boy to become national champion. He'd never wrestled in his life. His first year ever wrestling because he trained judo since he was 8. He was like 16. Got second in state. The next year he got first, okay? Never wrestled before. Just using purely judo techniques in a no-gi context. We've got solid people there. And this, cocky psych ward CO was like questioning Tarek's techniques. I'm just like, oh my Lord. You're going to question this man right here. Why'd you even come? So it got time of sparring, and he thought he was going to outpower me. Well, first off, hey, he's a big guy. He's about 230, 240. Had a good bit extra weight on him. I weigh about 170 pounds. But that same look of this don't make sense. Usually use technique, but sometimes with people like that, I like to just squeeze them, just muscle them. See that look of what's happening. And it was fun with him. And he didn't, I knew he wasn't going to come back first off. He had too much of an ego. He was going to get beat up by people who'd been training. But, pretty easily put a cherry on top of that one. It was a rough day for him. He did not show back up, but even if I hadn't been there, he wouldn't either. He would have still got whooped. But it's rude to me. Beyond manners, treat me good, I treat you better. Treat me bad, I treat you worse. And I learned that if I judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, because I don't have to sit there and take somebody's stuff and think, should I find him? Can I beat him? I want to be able, if somebody says something stupid, I want to say something stupid back. They say something stupid back, I say something stupider back. And not have to deal with none of that. I'm not a tough guy, I'm a dork that learned how to fight, and I didn't have to listen to nothing. Because it burned me up. I hate people like that. And people put people down and talk like that. This guy being rough with the girls too, so he had to get smashed. But anyway, give you a little quick run through again. Number one, the guy who punched the guy, one punch, guy passed, he had to do prison time. Been all through Virginia state system. Hey, he might know some people Jay knows. Be interesting. The second, Whitney Spalding. She's like my sister. She's a wonderful, wonderful, just like her heart. She's just a beautiful person. Okay, I mean, she made a career on beauty, the model stuff. But models, I mean, typically don't have a good reputation. That's the opposite of what she is. None of that stuff with her. Okay, my mom was kind of like a mentor to her. She thinks my mom like a mom for real. Whitney's had to deal with some stuff in her life. She's got a lot of family with addiction issues. One that, I've reached out to, and I wish to God, I'd get him in training. He's a good guy. He's like a brother to me. I lived with her dad for a bit, and her brother, lived there then, and he wouldn't touch none of that back when I was doing stuff. Now, he's been having problems, but he wants to quit. And, he wants to quit, but he feels like he can't. But anyhow, she can talk about this. Some family done some wild, crazy stuff when they was twacked out, okay? Some of them was, going to the clinic, but when they went to the clinic, they meet people, get some extra stuff. Some of them was twacked out on whatever. She got some stories, okay? The third one, which, they call him the Sarge. That's what they call him. It's a cool dude. He's a cool guy. He's a cool CO. I imagine, if he'd worked my pub whenever I was living there, you knew what to expect at him. That seems like the kind of guy he is. He was going to do his job. He wasn't going to make anybody miserable. But, he wasn't going to just let people get by with stuff either. He told me, we've had many long talks whenever he comes to my mom's store, because I ask him questions, but, just stuff that's happened there and everything, because he's always got some stories. These two people can tell you the stories, him and his wife. His wife looks like a rocker, okay? Sleeved up all the way out. And he looks like, he looks like somebody from, I mean this with all the respect, but those old 50s, 1950s men's men, you know what I mean? Just like stone, like big old brute savage, like that. You know what I'm saying? And, they're a cool couple. They're a great couple. They got some great kids. Every time they come in, it's a good family. It's a really great family. They both got stories, and they can both tell you about how locally the deal. I don't know what the deal is, but the dealers here are putting fentanyl in weed. Okay, I can have multiple people on here. If somebody's like, "That's a myth." Okay, if we was going to talk about, Bigfoot or some stuff like that, it's a myth. Is it really that far-fetched to think that fentanyl, which has become one of the most popular drugs in the country, most profitable drug in the country without question, could possibly be being placed in weed? It's happening here. A guy that I did jiu-jitsu with, place that I cross-trained, who works in a psych ward, he's seen it happen multiple times. Each of them have seen it happen multiple times. We had to bring people back. So it's not a myth. I mean, I'm sure there are places that make that up, but there are people in Roanoke that are putting that stuff in weed, and they can tell you about it. So somebody says it's a myth, you can get these people that work this place, and you say they're lying, then I don't know what to tell you. Some people you can't tell them nothing. This guy's getting ready to retire as a sergeant, working in a regional jail. I don't know what to tell you. If you're going to tell me he's lying too, then whatever. Better just go find something else, because you ain't gonna believe shit I say on here if you don't believe him. I mean, I hate to cuss, but I mean, it gotta be as blunt as that sometimes. There's some people like, I don't believe you, and stuff like that. Man, it's always funny though when it's like this little twig-built kid that you go in he shows what he listens to, and you look at some of the people he's listening to. Some of those new age rappers that just yell one word like Bugatti, 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 Bugatti. Man, if you like Future, I'm sorry for you. I thought it was like a joke. I need love and affection, love. Man, I thought that was like somebody, making fun of somebody that might have been simple or something. I'm not even kidding. And I saw people bumping their heads to it, and I'm like, man, stuff must have changed. You know, man, you hear me talking about Wu-Tang. I mean, you go from Wu-Tang to that. Lord, you know, it's a sad state that things have ended up in. And it's crazy because back then, Wu-Tang, everybody else, you know, you had all these people, Tupac, Biggie, everybody else. You had people that was actually gangsters doing gangster stuff. And now you got these auto-tune boys, and you got these people, these auto-tune boys are producing this new age kid that thinks that they just got you figured out. Man, that new age kid's gonna go to a prison. Their OG's gonna be some middle-aged man. They're gonna start talking that new age lingo, and that OG's gonna, you know, be like, listen, youngin'. Nah. A lot of the OGs are like, they're like a kind of a corny uncle with dad jokes, but they'll mess you up. Oh man, you know, they'll tell corny jokes. They're from a different time, but don't let that fool you. But these kids, they'd be fooled by it. If they met them, they wouldn't think they were something serious because they got this image of what they see on TV. A lot of times OGs in prison are just, you know, they're like a goofy, corny uncle that tells, like, you know, dad jokes. Man, I can't even tell you. It's a wild time we live in. You know, it's sad. You know, sad. You know, perpetrating fraud. Some of these people. But anyhow, let me know which of those three people you find the most interesting. And cherry on the cake, Justin Berger. That dude's my brother. I need to get a hold of him. He was selling old bricks. He was selling to one dude who ended up, the dude would buy whole bricks off of him and cook it up in a rock. And the dude he was selling to financed a rap career with $500,000 worth of crack money to fund music videos and stuff. He ended up getting like 20. So yeah, it didn't work out for him, you know. Maybe if he had that auto tune. Nah, if he wasn't selling crack rock. Oh, by the way, there's something funny. Type in on YouTube, type in "Your Mama's on Crack Rock." As a mean song they used to play to try to shame mamas into quit smoking crack back when it was done. It's the funniest song. They got little kids saying, "Your mama's on crack rock." Not my mama. Your mama's on crack rock. And it's oh, God, press this one good though. And it's pitiful though because they're making fun of the other little kid whose mom's a crackhead. That's the meanest stuff they ever did. But you'll laugh when you watch it. You can't help it. It's a catchy song. Your mama's on crack rock. Not my mama. I mean, shoot. Look that up, man. That's something funny. You want to see something else? Look up the James Brown interview when he was twacked out on PCP. Man, that was funny. He went in there talking crazy. That's a funny one. Kai the Hitchhiker's a good one too. I'm just in a random state of affairs. I get in this insomnia state. You know, it's the type of stuff I look up when, you know, she been up with me. If I'm awake, she's awake. She just sit up and look at me like, "What's up? We got something to do?" Yeah, got my back. She's like, "Man, you've been up too late. These dang lives, you're killing me." Yeah, got one tonight. I believe it's 9 o'clock. Vegas Prison Stories. It's at my mom's 40th anniversary party of her small business. So I missed it last night. But I missed Rick's Vegas Prison Stories. Now Rick is an unsung hero. He's helped more people, you know, get about themselves, get subscribers, everything else. Incredible with editing. Oh my Lord, he's really incredible with it. And we've been doing these videos, but at the same amount of time, I got lucky. I mean, just straight up, I got lucky. 3 of my videos that have been out for months, just all of a sudden started getting crazy views. From 3 videos, I think I've gotten like just short of 5,000 subscribers. Now, they were good stories. Flamin' Raymond, that's a good story. You know, DC Mike pimping out Wendy, that dude looked like Carrot Top, or kind of like Wendy, like Pippi Longstockings. You know, Pippi Longstockings on the Wendy's cups. Yeah, as another one. And then the other one was Marcos' story. That one's just sad. That one hurts me to even think of. But man, that dude got lit up. That was the worst beating I've seen in any single person in my life. 30-on-1. Oh, Lord, that was vicious. He deserved it, though. Marcos, they got revenge from Marcos. And Pisces was some bad dudes. Oh, my Lord. And they said, we're not a gang. We're countrymen. If you're a Mexican, you ain't in a gang. Pisces is a Mexican gang for Mexicans not in a gang. It's what it is. I mean, just call it what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So anyhow, that's it for this one. I'm gonna try to get another one out on my other channel. I'm gonna get on there and I'm gonna talk some crazy stuff. I'm gonna talk about there like I talk on the lives. I'm gonna get a little gutter on there. Be some funny stuff. Got some interesting stuff. Got some very interesting stuff to talk on there about tonight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get one right now. So as soon as this uploads, I'm gonna have one uploaded on. It's gonna be on there tonight. Okay. So and something else in these lives, I'm so proud of my people on here. I love you guys. There was a guy on there last night. He's a good dude. He seemed like he seemed like a good guy. He called himself a troll, but he seemed like a really incredibly good-hearted dude. And he's talking about subscribers could be vicious and stuff like that. And I have the best subscribers on the planet. You guys pick people up when they're down. I hoped it would be like this, but I had no, it's YouTube, it's the internet. They're gonna be idiots, but somehow the good people ended up here. And y'all just talking to somebody sometimes. I talked to Big Weeby till 5 o'clock the other morning. He needed to talk to, and I'm gonna need him talking to me one day. It's gonna happen. It happens. Day will come. And just doing something like that for somebody, that's where it's at. Seriously. People judging people and saying, oh, blah blah blah, this and that. Yeah, you're weak or something like that, man. First off, weak, what do you know about weak? How many fights you been in? What you been in? As Rick James say, what's your name, rank, and serial number? You ain't know that. Who do you think you are? Saying some stuff like that. Especially you're some kid trying to tell people they're weak. The first thing about life. Shoot, I thought I did too. And learned the truth about human nature, and realized that the overwhelming majority suck. But on here, man, you guys are great. You guys are incredible. I love you guys. It's really something I'm proud of. Got a good place here, and it's because of y'all. Y'all have made this an incredible spot where somebody can come on and be like, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. It's going to happen. There's going to be somebody responds back. I try to get to as many as I can. There have been issues with sleep where, I get one video, miss another, so I'm sorry if I ever miss them. It's not intentional, ever. If I see somebody that's hurting and I start and I answer to it, I'll answer with pages worth of a response, giving every bit of detail of what I think can help. Because that's what's more important to me. I've made a little money here and there. July was a really good month. And then after the videos, after the algorithm changed, it went back down. You know what I mean? There's good times, bad times, but I saved that silver up. I'm getting ready to cash some of that in. Getting ready to cash in a handful of $1,000 to do something special. I got some really good ideas that getting Pinto, JB, Kevin Crockett, Weavy out there at those glampers. Next to Buffalo Farm, man, get a wild mix of people and get some good stuff going. I've got some good ideas and getting ready to put some of this money back into it. I've just been hoarding it, hiding it like Easter egg hunt in case somebody was to get past Sasha. They ain't getting past Sasha. I don't even know why I hide it. Habit. I'm still finding stuff that I hid, and I found a marker. I took the ink cartridge out. It had 200 diamonds in it. Casey talked about. My aunt can tell you about it. Sold it to my mom. It was a decade old. I've lost more because I'd take the diamonds out and I'd scrap the gold and scrap the silver, make it unrecognizable at a chop shop for jewelry. There's more stuff that I've got hidden that I'll probably never find all of it. But anyhow, I'm gonna shut up now. If you've watched this far, I hope you liked the video. If not, that's 30 minutes and 10 seconds of your life, in which you'll never ever get back. But I really hope you did. It's 30 minutes. It's going to take a minute to upload. The second this uploads, I am going to be doing a video on the other channel, Gutter as a Mother, talking crazy. I'll make you laugh. You know, I say something. I have my moments, okay? You know, I'll tell you, Weavy, he got man, he made everybody tear up last night. That day when I called him, talking to him till 5, man, he went through some tragic stuff. He had to grow up quick. He was forced to be an adult when he was a kid. Tragic stuff happened. But at the tail end of it, he started saying that crazy country stuff that only people back from that way down the corner, Southwest Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, like all in that little area, they got like their own language and their own stuff. Man, he had us rolling. I'll just give you a quick little line out of it. He said something about he got some money. He had a nice job, he quit, whatever, but they invested some of his check to make some money, you know, like one of those 401k things. He'd forgotten about it. He got a big old check. He said he got his grandma. He said, I bought her some old people shit. You know, got her flat screen TV. And the one guy's like, flat screen TV is old people stuff. And I'm thinking the same thing. I was thinking, you want to get her TV with the antennas? And but that's a funny dude, man. When he's got so many tools to be incredible. Past me, up past, man, I've been telling him. He had like 300 subscribers like 3 weeks ago. He got 1,400 now. Dude's on the way up. He's got this raw comedy about him, but he's got to learn to harness it. Like if he could do it, get it in line, man, that dude's way funnier than me. You know, I have moments. That dude's funny. He just got to hone it a little bit. I'm telling you. Weavy, and he knocked a mother out on live the other night. Blacked the screen out. Cops came and everything. He didn't press charges or nothing, but of course they came. Smashed the guy. Guy showed up at 2 a.m. during the live. Another time he ate a moth. That was on accident. But that's some wild stuff. A wild country dude named Weavy with a big beard that ate a moth. You need to check that man out. But Vegas prison stories tonight. That's my other dude right there. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know Weavy. It's a good bunch of people on there too. And sometimes, I mean, they get people on there that don't have channels. It's like, if you want to come on there and just hang out and talk with us, shit, they bring you on, I'll talk with you. Ask me whatever, you know. It's a good bunch of people, you know. All these other people do this, all the clowns, you know, just always, you know, and we don't do that, you know. And I love that because I hate that stuff. If there's not an imminent fight in the end, then what's the point? Especially if you're in a country that I can't get to because I'm a felon, and, you know, maybe you're not allowed here because you're a felon, then what are we going to bicker for? There's no conclusion. So it's pointless. Anyway, that's it.